lady participated yesterday. The woman of God preached yesterday, didn't she?
Yes.
She preached the word yesterday. And I thank God, amen, for how y'all in this house reacted. When I say reacted, how y'all did things in order and kept things looking good and doing things right. Thank you, everybody. Dear Lady David, thank you so very much.
Amen.
What you've done, amen. I appreciate what you're doing. Amen. God has not forgotten you, so don't think, well, they are not thinking about me. I am. I appreciate everybody in this church. Thank you so very much, amen. I tell you, God moved yesterday. On the woman of God, she was. I was talking to Deacon Wilkie in the office. And, I don't know if a lot of y'all know is when people come here to preach a lot of times, the Lord deal with them when they come have this stress. Sometimes they have something laid out on their paper, but when the Spirit of the Lord hit them, they change the whole thing. She did the same thing because I watched her that was in the booth. She had an outline. She really did. I think she had an outline. I think she had 2 or 3. I know she had 2 pages. Yeah, she had 2 pages of note. But when the Spirit of the Lord hit her and changed her direction, you know what she done? She left them notes and started ministering. And she ministered a long time. She ministered a while. So I thank the Lord. She's not the only preacher that happened to. A lot of preachers come in here and the Spirit of the Lord hit them. And what happened is instead of them being embarrassed, they just go on and do what the Lord say do. There's nothing wrong with it because the thing is, it's really when God speaks, that's what you want to speak. And she spoke a word in this house yesterday, not only to us, but to other people that was in this house. And I thank God for it because she acted like she said, I gotta go ahead and do what the Lord said, do that for us. We're not handing it to what the Spirit says, so I just thank God for that. Amen. Amen. Today I want to minister a word today. I don't want to be long. I'm not trying to be long, but I want to talk about the mature life of a believer. The mature life of a believer begins with order. Let's talk about order today. Order. Let's talk about order. In other words, when you grow up as a Christian, the order in your life should increase. The order in your life should increase. Now let me tell you something about this. Let me say this before I forget it, because sometimes the Lord gives me stuff and I forget it, but I had to write it down. I learned to write it down. People that live in chaos is out of order. When your life is chaotic all the time, you're out of order. Let me tell you something. If your life is chaotic all the time, don't fake it. Get it in order. Quit faking it, get it in order. Now let me show you something about something that's not out of order. Now, these lights are on, right? The lights are on, the power's on. But the thing about it is, if I don't turn on the switch and the power's paid, if I don't turn on the switch, they won't come on. And the first thing you say, something's wrong, it's out of order. There's nothing wrong, listen, there's nothing wrong with the light, there's nothing wrong with the power. The switch that ain't on. So the same thing in our lives, the power is there. God gives us the power to do these things. But what happens if we don't turn on the switch of order, don't nothing come on. And a lot of people are walking around with the switch out of order. They're not walking around trying to put things in order. Because this is what happens. Anytime you live with something so long, it becomes normal. So some people, when they live in a chaotic situation all the time, it becomes normal. And a person that got order, when they look into that chaotic situation, say, how can they live in that? But what they're doing is they're looking at a normal chaotic situation and they call it normal. So anytime you try to if you try to correct it, what they do is they get offensive. And the reason why they get offensive is because they've been living in it so long, it becomes normal. And when they see order, what they do, when they see a person with order, what they do is they're faking. I got everything going on. Bless the Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. And they be lying. Because they live in a chaotic situation so long. And now what happened is, this is what happened. This is what happened is, the spirit of cement then put around their legs so they can't move. Anytime something locked in cement, the only way you're going to get it up is you got to get a backhoe or you got to break it up. And what happens is when the spirit of cement come in and they don't move. But everything around them is chaotic. But they used to. They used to trouble. They used to things going on. They used to infidelity. They used to lying. They used to that stuff. They used to that because what happened is normal for them. And what happened, they had tried to get order. And when order comes, it's like that. Order is just like the children of Israel when they was in the wilderness and God gave them manna. They said, what's this? What is this order thing you're talking about? I'm not used to that. I'm all used to trouble. I'm used to something going on. I'm used to fussing and fighting and cussing and all this stuff. I'm used to lying. I'm used to stealing. I'm used to being deceptive. I'm used to that. That's what I'm used to. So why are you bringing some order in my life? Because I done got used to this. In other words, I'm married to this right here. Leave me alone. And that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to leave him alone. Because if you don't, if you continue to try to get him in order, what happens is you'll get a part of that chaotic situation. Jesus said like this, he said, let the blind lead the blind. Because they're going to fall in the ditch. And ditch is somewhere waiting on you. You ain't got there yet, but it's waiting on you. It's coming. And one thing about those type of ditches is it got your name on it personally. Can I teach you? Amen. Let's go to the word. Go with me to 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. I got a lot of this. I ain't gonna do a lot of reading. I got a lot of this. I like to teach out of this. Go down to the 26th verse. The 14th chapter of Corinthians. Talking about order. Talking about order. It says, how is it then, brother, when you come together, every one of you has a song, has a doctrine, has a tongue, has a revelation, has an interpretation. Let all things be done unto what? Edifying. If any man speak in an unknown tongue, let it be by two, or at the most by three, and that by course, and let one interpret it. But if there be no interpreter, let him keep silent in the church, and let him speak to himself unto God. Now, let me explain this right here about this tongue here. Now, what he's saying is when they're in church, if God give a person a revelation and they get up and begin to speaking in tongue, and there's no revelation, number one, if he don't have the interpretation or she don't have the interpretation, she needs to keep her mouth shut. Now, there's a difference between speaking in tongue and praying in tongue. I'm going to show you. There's a difference between speaking in tongue and praying in tongue. Some people think it's speaking in tongue and praying in tongue, and some people think praying in tongue and speaking in tongue. Two different things. Let me show you something before I go a little further. Go over to the 14th verse in that same chapter. Are you there? For if I pray in an unknown, listen, if I pray in an unknown tongue, my spirit prayed, but my understanding is what? Alright, what is it then? I pray with the spirit, and I will pray with the understanding also. I will sing with the spirit, and I will sing with the understanding also. You see what I'm saying? So there's a difference between praying in tongue and speaking in tongue. There's a difference. There's a difference. Look what it said. Go back to the 29th verse. Let the prophets speak 2 or 3, and let the other judge. If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his what? Peace. For ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn and all may become confident. And the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophet. For God is not the what? The author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Now, what happens, what he's saying is, now don't everybody get to start speaking in tongues. Because what happens is some people get confused. God is not the author of confusion, but peace. Tongue is not my message. I'm just trying to show you something. I'm trying to get there. Look what it says. Let your women keep silent in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also said the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husband at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. Now let me explain that right there. Let me explain this right here. Now this right here, what it is, they're in a church meeting. They're not in a church worship service. They're in a church meeting. And the reason why Paul said is because the women was running their mouths about something they didn't know what they was talking about. Those women was calculating and running their mouth, and they was trying to have a meeting. So you got to realize what he's saying is that women, what he's saying is, ladies, you need to keep quiet because number one, in those days, women was not learned. They didn't have a lot of education. They didn't know a lot of things. In other words, they only knew about the housework, what they did at home. Now, what happened, what Paul was saying, y'all need to keep quiet because y'all don't know what you're talking about. So don't come up here and talk, and when we talk about praise the Lord, you say, well, Pastor, the Bible says for me to keep my mouth shut. No, it don't. Don't need to come with that nonsense. That ain't what it's saying. They're in a church meeting. They're not in a church service. What Paul is doing, he's bringing what? Order. Now, they say you'll be subject, when it's something that you don't know, when you go home, ask your husband. Now, you got to realize some husbands these days don't know either. Now, some women know more than the husband. Let's bring it into today's perspective, all right? So look what it says. All right, now, he said, what can the word of God, what? Came the word of God out of you, or came it unto you only? If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that thing that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. But if any man be what? Ignorant. Let him be what? Ignorant. See, let me tell you something. If you're going to be ignorant, I'm going to let you be ignorant still. That's what the Bible says. If any person be ignorant, continue to let him be ignorant. Don't try to impose information on the person that's ignorant, especially when they don't want it. Let him be ignorant still. What he's saying is, don't waste your time with a person that don't want to learn. Ignorant is not knowing. Don't waste a lot of time there. Because what happened, he said, let them be ignorant. What he's saying is, they don't want the information. They don't want to learn. They don't want order. Because chaos, listen, chaos is their daily bread. Can I teach? Look what it says. Wherefore, brother, covet to profit and forbid not to speak with tongue. Let all things, this is what I want you to do, let all things be done what? Decently and in order. Now, if things are not in order, it's going to always be some chaos. If things not together, it's going to always be some chaos. The word order means to arrange, marshal, organize, systematize, and methodize. It also means to put persons or things in their proper in relations to each other. Now, this church yesterday worked in order. All y'all worked in order. Everybody had a part to do here, and everybody worked in order. I watched everybody. I watched the kids. I watched the adults. I watched the people that were serving the food. I watched the ushers. I even watched myself. Everybody worked in order. Did nobody get out of order? Because what happened is, number one, you have learned how to work in order. Everybody working and everybody worked in sequences. Even when it comes down to give to the gifts, people begin to give the people the gift. So what happened is when they left here, they realized they was in a place that was in order. Y'all did great, y'all did good. And what happened is one lady after the church, I'm sure after the church service over, I think Sister Green and some more of y'all sisters was vacuuming the floor. The lady told me, she said, they take care of business. She said, they doing good. So what happened, what she was doing is she was watching the order. See, people watch you. People watch what you do. People watch what you say, and then if what you say don't line up with you to do, they say, oh. The lady watched. She said, She said, they cleaning up the church. I said, yeah, they do good. I said, I appreciate it. Because what happened, that was order. See, anytime order is being taught and you exercise it, people see it. A lot of people, we live in a world that they don't like order. Everybody want to do their own thing. Everybody want to go any place they want to go. And that's fine. But what I'm saying is, but when it comes down to church, we need to be in order. When I'm talking about order, I ain't just talking about being 10 soldiers. I'm talking about being in order. When it's time for worship service, we got to worship God. When it's time to praise God, we got to praise God. When it's time to give, we got to give God. When it's time to do what God, when it's time to pray, we got to pray. So what happens is, everything needs to be done and decent and in order. In other words, if you got an assignment in this church, you ought to do it to the best of your ability. You ought not worry about what sister so-and-so, what brother so-and-so doing. You ought not be looking around to see what everybody else doing. You ought to do your best. Because what happens is, and listen, the thing is, what God assigned you to do, you ought to do. Huh? A lady asked me yesterday, me and Deacon Wick was outside, we was parking cars. And the lady said, you out here parking cars? I said, yeah. I park the cars, I mow the grass, I clean the bathroom, I vacuum the truck, whatever I need to do. You know why? Because I realized that's the order. Things need to be done. So in other words, I don't ask a lot of people, and people don't volunteer, so I don't go ahead and do it. You know why? Because you have to realize, I realize it has to be done. And the thing about it is, just because I'm a pastor, that don't mean nothing. Huh? I ain't the type of pastor that sit here and just try to delegate stuff. If it needs to be done, I'll do it. If I need to mow the grass, I'll mow the grass. Huh? If I need to clean the bathroom, I'll clean the bathroom. If I need to preach, I'll preach. If I need to take up money, I'll do it. You know why? Because number one, I want to do things in order. Because number one, God's going to bless me for what I do, and He's going to bless you for what you do. And the thing about it is, I don't try to make excuses for it. Yeah, I be tired like everybody else, but I don't make excuses for it. In other words, I ain't going to tell no lie. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Just that simple. But what happened, what Paul is doing, Paul is trying to get this church in order. Paul is trying to get the church in order about speaking in tongues and praying in tongues. Because everybody just jumping up doing what they want to do. See, anytime people jump up doing what they want to do, everything is out of order. See, anytime something is out of order, that's why they have a chaos. That's why they got riots, because there's no order. Huh? See, there's a way to protest without rioting. So when you start rioting, what happens? There's no order. Because number one, there's no peace. Number one, there's no police. There's number one, there's nobody. Everybody say, I want to do this. I was looking at the other day. I was looking at when the riots happened in California. What happened when the riots broke out? When the riots broke out in Central California and South Central, what happened is it got out of order. People started getting killed. People started getting houses got burned. Businesses got burned. I looked at the documentary. There was 862 buildings that got destroyed. I think it was about 2,000. I think it was about 2,000 people got killed. This is mostly a black neighborhood, but most of them got killed with black people. They destroyed their own stuff because they didn't do it in order. Can I teach? So what Paul is doing, look what he said. He's trying to bring order. Now let me ask you a question. Is there order in your home? Is there order in your job? Or do you work in order? Or do you work in chaos? A lot of people say they work in order, but if you look at their life, there's no order to it. A lot of people say, I do things in order, but if you look at their life, there's no order to it. Let me tell you one thing. You can't have order where sin is more prevalent. You can't tell me you got order. If you practice the sin, you ain't got no order. You got to order to lie. People that live in sin, they ain't got order. You can't tell me you got order when you live in sin. Because you're lying. Let me show you something about that. Remember when Satan was in heaven? He got out of what? Order. God kicked him to the curb. God kicked him to the curb. Now, let me tell you one thing. He was blessed while he was there. But he wanted to do his own thing. See, when you do your own thing, you hurt yourself. When you do your own thing, you hurt people that are with you. When you do your own thing, you hurt your family. I like the lady yesterday. She was talking about yesterday, and she talked about sanctification. She talked about living holy. And she kept saying this and said, ladies, not only ladies, say men, you that are living in, you that are sleeping with somebody that ain't your husband. She kept emphasizing it. Y'all hear that? She said you get out of your bed and go in his bed. Or get out of his bed and go in your bed. She kept emphasizing that. I said, why do women keep doing that? But I realized I've been preaching it too. And what happened was, what God is saying, I'm tired of it. Warning coming before destruction, and the Holy Spirit before fall. What he's saying is, I'm about to unlock and open up the door, and the fall finna hit you. Something about to hit you right now that you've never been hit before. You think you're going through now? You wait till God gets through with you. Because what He's going to do is He's going to release the anointing off your life, and He's going to allow Satan to come in. And when Satan come in, He's going to tear everything that you build up. Now look what He said. What He said is, she said, now, this is what Paul said now, why should I tear down what God had already built up? I done built up my salvation. Why should I go back to sin? Why am I going back to being a transgressor? The Bible said the dog returned to his vomit. So in other words, why am I going back to a dog type of life? Why am I going back to hoeing around? Why am I going back sleeping around? Why am I going back to this nonsense? Why should I go back when God delivered me from all that stuff? Can I preach? So what Paul is doing, he's trying to get order in the church. He's trying to get order through spiritual gifts. And everybody want to be somebody. But everybody is somebody. Just stay in your lane. You don't see me getting up here on the keyboard trying to play the keyboard. You don't see me getting up here on the drum trying to play the drum. That ain't my expertise. My job is to preach the word of God. That's what that job is to do, huh? So in other words, I don't try to get over and do that. Yeah, I like to do that, but that ain't my God. They called me to do that. So in other words, I stay in my lane. Because if I get on the keyboard and play the drum, what happens is that will be no order. Because number one, y'all done heard the sound from these musicians. If I get on it, y'all say, what is that? What is that? Where did that come from? Pastor, you need to stick to preaching. You understand what I'm saying? So what happened is, in order to keep order, let them do that. Huh? Because then what happens is when praise and worship come, it'll be off the hook. Especially if I start doing this, say, oh Lord. Can y'all imagine me on the keyboard and Sister Tamara and Sister Green up here trying to do praise and worship? And I'm on the keyboard. And you can see them looking at one another. What is she doing? And I'm telling you, sing, y'all! And I'm, nah. What is she doing? Sing, y'all! Nah. You see what I'm saying? There's no order to it. Now it's chaotic. Praise and worship ain't no praise and worship. And y'all out there in the audience talking about, what in the world is going on? And I'm sitting here talking about, sing, y'all! You see what I'm saying? That's what happened when things out of order. Number one, y'all couldn't receive. They couldn't sing. God didn't get the glory, and I look stupid. So everybody loses, am I right? So you see what I'm saying? So everything should be done in decent and order. Paul was always keeping the body of Christ in order to be effective in the kingdom of God. Go to Titus 1. Go to Titus 1. See, as you grow in the kingdom of God, order should be evident. Order should be something that you keep, not something that you get every now and then. Titus 1. What's it, Titus 1? Let me get there. Let your pastor get there. He's the one that need to get there, don't he? He's the one that need to get there. He's the one that need to get there. Titus 1. The fourth verse. To Titus, my own son, after the common faith, grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and the Lord Jesus Christ our Savior. For this cause, for this cause left I thee in Crete. Now he left him in Crete to oversee or to pastor, that thou shouldst set in what? In order the things that are wanting. So in other words, what he's saying is, this church needs to be set in order. Now we say, and listen, and ordain elders in every city as I appoint thee. In other words, I want you to get this church in order. I want you to ordain elders as I appoint thee. As I tell you who to ordain, I want you to ordain them. In other words, as the church needed, what you do is you put things in order. You get deacons, you get trustees, you get everything that you need. You get whatever you need, you get ushers, you need to set them in order. See, one thing about when you put things in order, everything works better. When things are in order, everything works smooth. When you put everything in order, what happens is everybody gets the glory. Everybody gets edified because what happens is a team effort. See, order really is a team effort. In other words, when you work as a team, everybody wins. Let me tell you what, this one man show don't mean nothing. LeBron James, yeah, he might get MVP or whoever get MVP, but the thing about it is he can't get MVP without the team. You got to have a teamwork. See, one thing, you work as a team, everybody takes a hand, everybody do a part of the sheet. And when you work as a team, everybody, what happens, the load is distributed around the team. So everybody don't have to work as hard because there's a team. But when there's no team, it's out of order. Because what happens is one person got to do all the load. Now, watch this, y'all. When you see people working for the city of Lexington, what happens, what you do is, if you see a man in a ditch, you see folks standing around him. Huh? That's what they do. One get in the ditch and folk be around him. You say, Pastor, both of them can't get in. That's just true. But the thing about it is, you have to realize, why do you need folks standing around him? Why do you need 4 people there? So what happens is when you work as a team, everybody pitch in. Jesus Christ and his apostles worked as a team. The disciples worked as a team. When you work as a team, everything can get done. When you work as a team, you can get more done as a team. That's why when you work in order, when you start working in order, you work as a team. The worship team, they work as a team. Huh? They work as a team. Now, if one want to be better than another, what's going to happen? It's going to be chaos. Amen. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to shut it down. Amen. Because we don't have it here. You know why? Because, number one, if this is out of order, worship is out of order. Amen. So what this does, this should bring the presence of God into the building. When I say that, you should bring him in, but when you come, you should bring the presence of the Lord to the forefront. Can I teach? So what Paul was trying to say, he said, look here, son, I want you to keep order. Don't worry about folk that don't want to do it. Keep order. Don't worry about the old folks trying to tell you what to do. Keep order. In other words, you're the pastor, you keep order. You ordain people, I tell you to ordain. Don't ordain everybody that want to be a pastor, want to be a leader. Don't ordain everybody going to get a suitcase and some cards printed talking about I'm a preacher. Don't ordain everybody. Everybody ain't saved. In other words, like the lady said yesterday, you go online and get your sermon. But what happened is, I want to get a sermon from the Lord. I don't want to go online. I want to get it straight from the throne. I don't want somebody else wrote. I want what God give me. So in other words, when you get it from the Lord, it makes it effective. Amen? So what happens, listen, hearing and obeying the truth will keep your life in order. See, when you hear and obey the truth, it will keep your life in order. Some people hear, but they don't obey it. So that's why their life is out of order. I don't tell you the truth. I don't see how people can live out of order. Because it costs you more to live out of order. It costs you more to live out of order. It costs you more to live out of order. Because what happened is, disobedience, what happened is, sin, when disobedience comes in, sin costs you more. It costs you more financially, it costs you more economically, it costs you more health-wise, it costs you more to sin. It costs you more. It costs you more to sin. Because sin got a cost. And this is the thing about it is, some of you in this church, y'all know y'all wrong. Y'all know you're doing wrong. And you continue to do it. Know you're wrong. Know you're living wrong. Know you ain't living right. Know you ain't doing what God said do. And then sit around like you're holy and all pious. Know you ain't doing what God called you to do. And you sit here and be all pious. No order ain't in your life. No chaos is in your life. No, the devil's in your house. And you won't put him out. The devil that became, what happened, the devil is your God. The devil that became your God. Because what happened, the devil was taken over. God ain't your God, the devil is. The Bible says God is not the author of confusion. Power, love, and a sound mind. And you get this type of word, hell got your name on it. This is what the Bible said. The Bible said he didn't know to do good, does not. And then what he said, you should be beat with many stripes. Some of you right now getting whooped, weighing you out. weighing you out. You working your fingers to the bone, and ain't nothing happening. You know why? It ain't because yeah, you give, but ain't nothing happening. You know why? Because you ain't gonna obey God. Giving ain't gonna get you out of the situation. Obedience is. Weighing you out. Got pain medicine, buying pain medicine, going to the doctor, buying all this stuff here. Weighing you out. Worried all the time, trying to figure things out. Getting 4, 5 jobs and it still ain't enough. And the enemy in your house looking at you. So you're scared to speak a word. So get out. When I say get out, I'm talking about the spirit. If you get the spirit out, the person will go. Amen. Scared of the devil. The devil sitting in your house with his feet propped up. Eating your food. Looking at your TV. Sleeping in your bed. Cussing you out. Ha! And you talking about I love Jesus. That's it. I love you, Jesus. Can I teach you? Amen. Go down to the 14th. Go down to the 14th verse, Titus. Thank you, Lord. Ain't God good? Amen. He tells us what we need, don't he? He don't tell us what we want, he tells us what we need. If he tells us what we want, we have an ice cream message all the time, won't we? God can give you some ice cream, but he's going to give you something else to go with it. He gives some ice cream, but sometimes he gives you some castor oil to go along with the ice cream. Want to do it? Yeah. He gives you some castor oil first, then he gives you some ice cream. Because he want to clean you out first. He don't want to put that ice cream on top of that mess that's in you. Can I teach y'all? Y'all pray for y'all pastor. Sometimes he get mad. You know why? You know the reason why I get upset? This is the reason why I get upset. Y'all are some of the blessed people in the world. And this is the thing about it is, if you think so little of yourself to allow the enemy to coward you down, y'all just don't know how blessed y'all are. It ain't in the numbers that's here. Y'all are some blessed people. I'm gonna tell you something. The last month, I preached at some churches. But I saw the spirit that was there. That spirit was there ain't the same spirit that's here. And the people over there, what happened is, this is what happened, they're a dead man walking. And y'all blessed. Y'all are so blessed. But what happens is, you keep looking at the eyes of your flesh. If you take those sunglasses off, which is your flesh, and look at the light, what happens, you'll see who you are. Because who you are ain't who you think you are. It's who God say you are. You're the righteousness of God by Christ Jesus, but act like it. Live like it. God, let me tell you something, y'all. God is trying to bless us. Everybody in this, when I say everybody, I mean everybody. God is trying to bless everybody in this church to the point that when the world look up here, they'll see Jesus. Come on. He said, I will hold no good thing from them that walk upright. Not them walking side to side, but upright. And I'm going to tell you something. Some of y'all, every time the enemy try to get you, God intervened. And you don't understand it. It's God. It ain't no magic. It ain't no hocus pocus. It's God. Look what, let's go down to 10. Titus 14, are you there? Look what it says. Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men, that turn from the truth. See what I'm saying? Don't go by that old fable stuff. Well, mama said if you walk up under the ladder, you're going to have 7 years of bad luck. Right, you're going to have 7 years of bad luck if you walk up under the ladder fall on you. And you be in the hospital 7 years. But that stuff don't work. Oh, a black cat come across the road, I ain't going to go that way. Then you turn around and have a wreck. You see what I'm saying? Get caught up in that old mess. Our forefathers said that stuff because what happened is they were taught that stuff. The reason I was taught that stuff to hold them back, to put fear in them. Right. That's not truthful. If a black cat run across me and I'm driving, he didn't have a bad day. Because after a while, you don't see the people in the city come with the zoop. He the one that had a bad day, not me. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to tell you. See what happened, what Paul is saying, get away from this nonsense. Get away from these fables. Get away from these old sayings. The old saying is, you know, forget that old saying. What is the word saying? All right. Listen what it says. Verse 15. Unto the pure, all things are what? Pure. Unto the what? Pure, all things are pure. Excuse me. But unto them that are what? Defiled and unbelieving, ain't nothing pure. See, now let me show you what this says. You people that are defiled and living in sin, ain't nothing pure. Like the lady said yesterday, you know, God knows my heart. Now this is the scripture. He said, yeah, the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? He said, well, above all things, the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? So if God knows your heart, the Bible says the heart is what? Desperately wicked. In other words, your heart is twisted. Your thoughts are twisted. But look what it says. And unbelief. See, some people don't believe that God will bless them if they do what they say do. Now, case in point. If you're a single person or a single parent, and you got a spouse, not necessarily a spouse, but you're like a boyfriend or whatever, and they're abusive. Let me show you something. And they're abusive towards you, and they don't contribute to you and your household. Number one, you should be staying with them no way. That's number one. But if case in point. Now, even if you do, let me show you something. Now, if they're abusive and they're not contributing to the family, what happens is, then you depend on what that person is doing financially. And the Lord say, get rid of him, and you don't get rid of him. What happens, what you're saying, I don't believe God can help me. I don't believe you can help me, Lord, because I'm dependent on him, not him. So what God says is, get rid of him, and I show you that I bless you more than him, because him ain't me. But if you believe in me, he won't be around no more. So some people say, well, yeah, but. The word but means I don't believe you, God, because I've been getting $2 a week from him. And what happened is, the $2 a week I get from him really costs me more than what he's giving me. Right. So now what I do is, I go to work to try to make up from what all he got from him. So now I'm working overtime, and he's staying at home, and he's giving me the $2. But I'm blessed. You're a blessed fool. That's what it is. Because what happened is, the enemy is taking from you what God has already given you. And this is what the Bible says, don't give that which is holy. But if you do what God say do, and trust him, what he'll do is he'll bless you. Number one, he'll keep you pure. You won't be undefiled. And what happened was, the enemy, when the enemy see what God had done for you, the old saying, give them the what? And see you. Can I teach y'all? Can I teach? Yes. I taught this last week over, not this lesson, but I taught some of word of reconciliation last week. I told the young ladies over there, young lady, don't ever get caught up on how a man looks. Because there's some young, good-looking young men, I mean some very good-looking young men, but they're on the down low. Hello, somebody. You know what the down low is? They're a switch hitter. You know the switch hitter? See, y'all don't get the, y'all get the real preaching. Y'all know the switch hitter, don't you? He's Hercules today, and he Hercules tonight. Can I teach y'all? Let me leave that alone. Can I go? Verse 16. Listen, let me show you something. They profess to know God, but in their works they what? Deny him. Do you know what I'm saying? Being abominable and disobedient in every good work, reprobate. So what they say is, they say that they know God, but in their works, in what they live like, it don't see that. It don't show. So you can't tell me you know God and living in sin. So what happened, what he's saying is, but listen, in their works they deny him. It's good to sit up in here and say, I love Jesus, but when you walk out of here and go get in somebody else's bed, or get in here to go do something wrong, you see what I'm saying? But your works, listen, your works show you who you really are. Your lifestyle, what he said, your lifestyle show you who you really are. Your lifestyle show you if you know Jesus. Your lifestyle show you if you love Jesus. Your lifestyle show you if you're holy. Your lifestyle show you if you're sanctified. Your whole lifestyle show you if you got filled with the Lord. Your lifestyle, not your word, but your lifestyle show you who you really are. Amen. See, when I got saved, I quit that stuff. I had to. I had to, because what happened is, if I'd have went back to what I was doing, I'd been dead today. Because I wouldn't have stopped. Can I teach you? I'm about there. Listen, here are lessons that will develop your godly character in good teaching of Scripture. Number one, you got to deny ungodliness. You got to deny ungodliness. You got to deny. This is Titus 2 and 12. But I'm going to show you something. First of all, you got to deny ungodliness. You got to deny it. You got to deny it. Number two, you got to deny worldly lust. Number two, you got to deny worldly lust. Number three, you got to live soberly. Now, let me tell you what this sober is: a sound life. Not an up and down, yes and no life. Not a yo-yo type of life. That live a sound life. Live soberly. Number three. Number four, you got to live righteous. Got to live. This is a lifestyle. You got to live righteous. Number five, you got to live godly. That means holy. You got to live holy. Now, when I say live holy, I'm not saying come into church with long dresses and all that stuff there. I'm talking about don't come in here acting crazy. Live holy means a good, clean life. If your life ain't cleaned up today, starve. Because what God is going to take you got to live holy. Don't let nobody tell you different. Let me tell you something, church. And this is what the Lord showed me. This is what the Lord told me. Some of you that are single, you think you're alone. God said, I'm right there with you. Some of you think you're alone, but you're really not. God said, I'm right there with you. He told me that. He said, tell those single people, say, I'm right there with them. They're not alone. In other words, God is watching over you more than he is the one that are married. He said, I'm right there with you. He said, you ain't alone. You just don't see me, but I'm there. You don't see me with the natural eye, but I'm there. Now, but I'm there. I'm walking with you, daughter. I'm walking with you, son. Don't worry about it. I'm there. He said, I'm there. I'm with them. I'm with you. I'm with you. He said, I got your back. I got you. I got your back. All you got to do is just trust and believe in me. If you trust and believe in me, what happens? You won't have nothing to worry about. I got your back. All I want you to do is just trust me. I don't just put all your trust in me, and I'll take you somewhere. I'll take you somewhere you've never been before. I'll take you to places that you've never been before. I'll take you to places that you read out of books. I'll take you there if you just trust me. I'll take you, listen, this is what the Lord said. He said, I'll take you pieces that'll bless you that you've never seen before. They'll bless you because God told them to bless you. But you got to trust me. If you don't trust me, it won't happen. Can I teach you? So what happens, you got to realize when you put things in order, things work. Listen, God gives command, which is order, and he brings into a, listen, God gives command, which is order. He brings us into a place he desired for us to be. Joshua 1:8. Joshua 1. Now what he done is he brought them into a place that he wanted to be. They had to follow the order. God was bringing them, listen, he was bringing them out of chaos into a place of order. He was bringing them out of Egypt into a place of the land flowing with milk and honey. He was bringing them out in order. So in other words, you have to realize a lot of times when God brings you out of chaos, sometimes you got to go through this. Sometimes you got to go through some areas of perversion. When I say perversion, you got to go through some wilderness. Anytime you go through some wilderness, all the wilderness show you this ain't the place I want to be. Don't park in the wilderness. Go through it. Some people that parked in the wilderness, and what happened is they think it's the promised land. The wilderness is not in the promised land. The wilderness is in front of the promised land. The promised land is on the other side of the wilderness. Don't park there because God is just keeping clothes on your back and keeping shoes on your feet and letting you eat a little bit. Don't park there because that ain't what God got for you. God got a promised land for you. And if you get to the promised land, you looking back and say, Lord, I thank you brought me through the wilderness because I almost parked there. I almost gave up. I almost stopped. I almost gave up. I almost said, well, here I am. But that is not the place that God got for you. Don't get caught in the wilderness. Because the wilderness, let me tell you what the wilderness is. The wilderness is a slow death. Ha! Help me, Holy Ghost. The wilderness is a slow death. And the reason why God didn't allow them to die right then because he had to allow them children to come up out of that seed. And if God, listen, and he could have done it, God could have brought the children out right then, but he let them go through the process. He let them go through the process of having children because what he wanted to do is he wanted to get the seed out of them and bring them to the promised land. Because he had promised Abraham that his seed would be planted, that his seed would multiply the land, that his seed would be great. So what God done, God realized that I made a promise in Genesis. Now I got to feel it down in Joshua. So in other words, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let y'all stay here, but I'm going to wait till I get the seed out. And when I get the seed out, we going on. Bye. Bye. You got to tell the wilderness people, bye. Because they don't want to go no, bye. Some people I don't know why people like wilderness. Because number one, you got lion, tigers, and bears. You got foxes, you got snakes. You got spiders, you got insects. Everything is in the wilderness. And only the strong survive in the wilderness. Can I preach? So but God is saying, look here. Let me take you to a place that you've never been before. Let me take you to a place that's a place that's flowing with milk and honey. Let me take you to a place that will bring you out of your stagnant situation. See, a lot of times we get caught up in situations. But let me tell you one thing, church. You know, you got to quit hanging around folk that don't want to go nowhere. I keep saying this all the time. You got to quit hanging around church. There's some church people don't want to go nowhere. And this ain't the thing. It ain't bad to not to go. And listen, it's not bad to say, look here, I don't want to hang with you because number one, you don't want to go nowhere. I love you right where you at. But I can't stay with you. I can't play with you. I can't party with you. I can pray with you, but I can't stay there. Because number one, God got somewhere for me to go. In other words, you got to stop finding your life. But what I got to yield. but I'm going to yield right now because I got to go somewhere. I ain't waiting around on you. I got to go because God is pushing me. God give me a mandate. God didn't give me a promise, so that's where I'm going to go. In other words, you have to realize, and then people go talk about you. So what? Let them talk about you, huh? Let them talk about how blessed you are. Let them talk about how the Lord done raised you up. Let them talk about how the Lord got you this. Let them talk about how the Lord got that. Let them talk about it. Because what they're doing is, they're talking about you, but they're looking at what they ain't got, and the reason why they ain't got because they ain't doing what you're doing. That's right. Let me tell you something, church. We're all on the same equal playing field. Just because I'm the pastor, don't mean nothing. You know what it means? It means I got to work harder. I got to work harder. See, when y'all leave here, y'all can go home and lay down. When I leave here, I got to pray, get ready for the next session. Then when the next session comes, I got to pray and get ready for that. And it's always a next session for me. Because I got to give y'all what God gives me. But really, I'm just sharing what God gives me to help y'all. To help us. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, if you don't take hold of this word, listen, I done seen people in this church take hold of this word and they moving up. They moving up. You know why they moving up? Because they grab hold to the word. Amen. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It got hold of this word right here. Now I see some of you what you're doing is you're playing like you're saved. But you're fooling yourself. You ain't fooling me. Because you ain't moved. You ain't moved in 2 or 3 years. Doing the same old thing in the same old place. Got the same old conversation. And you don't talk to me because you know I don't want to hear that stuff. And that's fine. I don't hate you, I love you. But what happened is, you know, I don't come around talking about, well, this song, I don't hear that. So I don't want to hear that. Well, Pastor, I don't want to hear that. Well, the devil, I don't want to hear nothing about the devil. Well, Pastor, he mean, he don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Well, listen, I'm not your spiritual trash can. Dump that stuff somewhere else. See, this is what happened is, when you listen, I listen to some stuff legitimate. But look what happened. When people want to dump something on you that they don't want to do, they want you to be their spiritual trash can. Then you ask them, say, well, what you going to do about it? I'm going to pray about it. Some things you got to pray about. All you got to do is do it. Huh? Yeah, the Bible says pray about everything, but the thing about it, some things you got to pray about, especially when God gave you a command to do it. All you got to do is do it. Now, case in point, tithing. You got to pray about tithing. He said give. And it should be given to you. You got to pray about it. You do it or you don't. See what I'm saying? But people want to get their religious. Well, I got to pray about it. Well, you got to pray something what God told you to do. Huh? God said, all right, come on down to the church Monday night and pray. I got to pray about that. You got to pray about that. Come on, pray. But this is the thing. Let me show you something, church. Let me show you something in this teaching here. Everybody, well, actually everybody, if your job asks you to do a certain thing and you don't want to do it, you do it. Hello, somebody. If your job asks you to do a certain thing, you do it. Now listen, you might not want to do it, but you'll do it. Why do you want to do it? Because you want to get paid. But let me show you something in there. Go to Deuteronomy 8. Go to Deuteronomy 8. Go down to the 18th verse. But thou shalt what? Remember, the Lord thy God, for it is he that give thee power. The word power means ability or purpose to get wealth. In other words, to get paid or to get money. That he may establish his covenant which he swore unto his fathers as it is to this day. Now God, listen, what he's saying is, God gives you the power to get up in the morning and go to your job, or you work in the evening, whatever how you work, to go make money. Now, listen, they can give you a job all day long, but if you don't get up and go to work, you're what you call terminated or fired. So in other words, if God gives you the ability or the power to get wealth, then you and I ought to have enough audacity, in other words, to bless the Lord and do what he say do, because it's he that has allowed us to be blessed to get a job. It ain't because you're smart. It ain't because you went to school and got a PhD. That ain't got nothing to do with it. There's some people that got some PhD these days don't have a job. There's some people that got PhD now that are staying in shelters. There's some people that got master's degrees that are staying in shelters, that are staying on the street. So they ain't got nothing to do with education. Yeah, education is a door opener, but what happens, the education of the word is more better than the education of man. So what happened is, he said, but remember. What he's saying, you need to remember who allowed you to get up this morning. You need to remember who allowed you to get the job. You need to remember who allowed you to make that money. You need to remember that. Because you didn't do it on your own. You didn't do it on your own. I didn't do it on my own. We ain't that smart. So in other words, you need to remember. Let me move on. Okay. Let me get out of here for Bernard. He been kind of long in the last couple of times. Next scripture. Listen, the Lord in order believers that live and walk in obedience. Number one, go, Psalms 37 and 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. God only gives us orders or commands out of his words. Sin has no place. God only gives us a command out of his word. Now, go to Psalms 119. This is what I want you to do. Go to Psalms 119 and 133. I'm out to y'all. Say glory. Say glory.
Glory.
So you thought I was going to do a trick, huh? Y'all always think I'm trying to trick y'all, don't you? Sometimes y'all need to be tricked. Tricking you don't do it right. Are you there? Psalm 119 and 133 right there? Psalm 119, 133.
Amen.
Let me show you something. Good man. Oh man, this word is just awesome. Go to Psalm 119, 133. Are you there? Everybody there? Look what it says. Order my steps in thy word. Now, God order your steps in the what? Word. He don't order your steps outside the word. Look what it says. Now, let me show you something. When he order your steps in the word, this is what happens. Let me show you how to do things in order. Look what it says. Order my steps in your word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Now, let me show you what that's saying. If you, listen, when God order your steps, I'll give you instructions in the word, sin won't have prevalence over you. Sin can't overtake you. Because what happens is, he ain't going to lead you into sin. This is what I've seen. The last few churches I went to, I seen people come to church and handle Bibles. Now, how can they learn something without a Bible? He said, order my step in your what? Word. That iniquity might not have dominion over me. In other words, when I learn something out of this word, when sin pop up, I know how to deal with it. Because what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do what the word say do, not what the sin say do. So what God is saying is, if I order, the Bible said the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, then he said, let me order your steps. Let me give you the proper order. Let me give you the proper things what to do and how to get through this situation. Let me tell you how to do it. Let me give you the word. Let me give you the counsel. Let me give you the answer of your question. Let me give you the answer of your situation. Let me give you the answer through this word here. Follow this right here, and then you'll see what happens. Live by this right here, and you'll see what happens. Talk what this say, and you'll see what's happening. Pray what this say, and you get what it had, what it's got in it. You just all you got to do is do what this say do. Then when you do what this say.